Pooh's adventure for the perfect honey pot. It was a golden morning in the 100-acre wood. The sun was rising high, painting the trees with a soft, warm glow, and the air was filled with the sounds of birds chirping and bees buzzing busily around the flowers. As usual, Winnie the Pooh sat beneath his favorite tree, his round belly content after finishing a small pot of honey for breakfast. Pooh sighed happily, rubbing his tummy. That was delicious, but I do wonder, is it time for another pot yet? He tapped his head, trying to think of something to do. The days in the 100-acre wood were always full of small adventures, but today, Pooh felt like doing something a little more extraordinary. Just then, a familiar voice broke Pooh's thoughts. "Hello, Pooh," called Christopher Robin, skipping down the path toward him. "Hello, Christopher Robin," said Pooh with a big smile. "I was just thinking about what to do with my morning. Would you like to join me for some honey?" Christopher Robin laughed, shaking his head. "I'd love to, Pooh, but I was actually wondering if you might like to go on an adventure instead." "A thank you adventure?" Pooh's ears perked up. "A thank you adventure? I don't think I've ever been on one of those before. What's a thank you adventure?" Christopher Robin knelt down beside Pooh and said, "It's an adventure where we show the bees how thankful we are for all the honey they make. They work so hard, and we get to enjoy all the honey. Don't you think it would be nice to say thank you?" Pooh's eyes grew wide. "Oh, Christopher Robin, that's a wonderful idea. Bees do make the most marvelous honey, and I never thought about thanking them. But how do you say thank you to a bee?" Christopher Robin sat back on his heels, thinking for a moment. "Well, bees like flowers and buzzing around. Maybe we could find something they'd enjoy. What if we gave them a gift?" Pooh scratched his head. "What kind of gift does a bee like? Do they like honey, too?" "Oh, but wait. Honey comes from them, doesn't it?" Christopher Robin smiled. "I think you're right, Pooh. We'll have to think of something else. How about a little toy, something fun for them to look at while they work?" "A toy for the bees?" Pooh's brow furrowed. "Well, I do have a small blue balloon left over from Eeyore's birthday. Do you think they'd like that?" Christopher Robin clapped his hands. "That's a perfect idea, Pooh. A balloon floating high above their hive would be just the thing to cheer them up." Pooh was very excited now. A new kind of adventure, one with balloons, bees, and saying thank you, seemed like the best kind of adventure he could imagine. So, off they went to Pooh's house to fetch the blue balloon. The balloon and the journey to the hive. After fetching the balloon, Pooh and Christopher Robin made their way down the familiar path that led to the bees' hive, which was nestled high up in an ancient oak tree. As they walked, Pooh hummed a little tune to himself, the kind he always hummed when he was thinking about honey. The balloon floated cheerfully above them, bouncing lightly in the breeze. When they reached the oak tree, Pooh gazed up at the hive hanging from the highest branch. "Well, there it is, Christopher Robin," said Pooh, tilting his head back to look. "The bees' house. But I don't see any bees around." Christopher Robin scratched his chin. "That's odd, isn't it, Pooh? The bees are always busy buzzing in and out of their hive." Pooh nodded. "Yes, they usually are. Do you think they've gone on holiday?" Christopher Robin laughed. "Maybe. Or maybe they're out gathering nectar somewhere else in the wood." "Well," said Pooh, "we should leave the balloon here for them, just in case they come back. It's important to leave the thank you gift, even if we don't see them." Together, Pooh and Christopher Robin carefully tied the blue balloon to the base of the oak tree. The balloon bobbed gently in the breeze, its bright colors standing out against the green leaves. "There," said Christopher Robin, standing back to admire their work. "That should cheer the bees up when they get back." Pooh looked up at the balloon and smiled. "Yes, I think it will. It's such a happy color, don't you think?" Christopher Robin nodded. "Now, Pooh, since we've finished our thank you adventure, how about we go and visit our friends? I'm sure they'd love to join us for the rest of the day." Pooh's eyes lit up at the idea. "Oh, yes. We can tell them all about how we thanked the bees. Maybe Rabbit would like to organize another adventure, or Piglet might like to join in. And Tigger, well, Tigger would certainly want to bounce along with us." A curious discovery. As Pooh and Christopher Robin began to leave the tree, something caught Pooh's eye. Near the base of the oak tree, there was a small, glittering object, half buried in the dirt. Christopher Robin, Pooh said, pointing at the ground. Do you see that shiny thing? I think it's trying to get my attention. Christopher Robin knelt down and brushed away some of the dirt. To his surprise, he uncovered a tiny, silver key, old and worn but still shiny in the sunlight. A key, Christopher Robin exclaimed. I wonder what it opens. Pooh looked at the key with great interest. Maybe it opens a very small door. Or a very small box of honey. Christopher Robin chuckled. Maybe. But there's only one way to find out. We'll have to keep this key safe and look for anything that might need unlocking. Pooh nodded solemnly. Yes, we'll keep it safe, Christopher Robin. I wonder where it leads. Do you think it's part of another adventure? Christopher Robin smiled as he pocketed the key. It could be, Pooh. Maybe it's the start of a brand new mystery for us to solve. But for now, let's go and see what Rabbit and the others are up to. We'll ask them if they've seen anything strange that might need unlocking. Pooh's heart swelled with excitement at the thought of a new mystery. Yes, Christopher Robin. A mystery is always more fun when you have friends to solve it with. And so, with the silver key tucked safely in Christopher Robin's pocket and the blue balloon cheerfully waving goodbye from the oak tree, they set off down the path, ready for whatever adventures lay ahead.